Manifest Your Epic Life with Dr. Aixa Goodrich. Feel better.
Function at optimal levels.
Get rid of limiting beliefs and start manifesting your epic life. Here's your host, Dr. Aixa Goodrich.
Welcome to another episode of Manifest Your Epic Life. We're going to be talking about affirmations today because it's truly been something that's transformed my life. And I have a personal friend, my coach, one of my greatest mentors ever, Dr. Larry Markson. I want to welcome you on the show again.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back.
Thank you. You've helped thousands, if probably millions of people through your book and your cabin experience, and obviously you speak at different organizations, and you do a wonderful job making mental shifts in people that they normally don't do on their own. So you've been very successful at doing that and made a fundamental change in my life. In fact, in my podcast, and if you listen back to previous, I've been doing this for almost a year now, your name comes up a lot. And so this is why I wanted to have you on the show, because with First show we did was goal setting, and now we're going to be talking about affirmations. So let's just jump right into it and tell us why affirmations are so important.
Well, first, maybe a little history work. I did not come to the table as this outstanding success in life, in marriage, blah, 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 blah. I arrived, I was 30 years old. I was getting divorced. I had a terrible marriage. I had no money. My chiropractic practice was not successful. I did not have a good self-image. So I don't want people to think, here comes the next guru, right? It didn't work for me that way. What I'm here to tell you is that I failed in almost every aspect of my life and then learned how to succeed. And if I can do it, you can certainly do it, because we all have our stories, the stories of the past, the hurts, the pains, the negative things that have happened to us. So in 1969, I was 29 years of age, so you can figure it out how old I am. And I was desperate, and I was ready to give up chiropractic and go drive a truck or whatever I could do to support my silly children who wanted food, clothing, and shelter that I could not provide. And a friend of mine, instead of that, said, "Why don't you come with me?" And he paid my way to go to a seminar. And in that seminar, it was a positive seminar. It was about goaling, and it was about things you could accomplish and the tools to accomplish them. And there was a lot of positive sayings that were going on. And so I sat first row center. I was gobbling it all up. I was nauseous because it was not from a world that I came from. I came from a very authoritarian father and a guilt-giving mother. So this is not, you can be anything you want to be. Life is fun. You can be in love. You can make as much money as you want to. It was not that. And that speaker in that seminar was Dr. James Parker, now deceased, and started Parker seminars that I've worked at and taught at for the last 46 years. But he started talking about affirmations. He didn't teach the audience as I do. Every talk that I've ever given around this world, as you know, I said that we do an affirmation, so the audience gets to participate. Affirmations are how I started. They were to start telling myself good things about myself. So I would say I am healthy versus I'm sad and I'm depressed and I'm down. And so I'm healthy, I am vital, I am active, I'm successful, I'm a good human being, I have more to achieve than what I have. I just randomly saying positive things before I even knew why or how they work. So I did know that our minds accept as truth critical statements we tell ourselves, but it can also accept our positive affirmations. So affirmations are positive statements that you tell yourself out loud over and over again before, and I do it the first thing upon awakening in the morning. I do my affirmation. And the reason, I might do it later in the day too on the way to work. I do that and listen to myself saying it in my automobile. But upon awakening, first thing in the morning, my eyes open, and I put a positive thought in my head. So I may not do a full affirmation, which could be 3 or 4 or 5 paragraphs, or bullet affirmations. The one that I use every single morning is something great is going to happen to me today. Open eyes, you're still groggy, you're not fighting back with what you can or cannot do. Something great is going to happen to me today. So the words we speak and think hold great power over the kind of life that we create for ourselves. So many people live their lives plagued by negative thoughts and never even, they don't even realize it. You go out to dinner, Aixa, and I do, we're at seminars with people, you don't realize how much negativity comes out of people. They tell themselves and others that they're doomed to fail, they're not good enough, they're not worthy, and they're amazed when their reality actually mirrors what they've been saying. So just as the subconscious mind accepts the truth of critical statements, for instance, if someone says, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm dumpy, I'm fat, I'm too heavy, everybody tells me that, there's a good chance you're going to stay that way because you're just empowering yourself to believe that you're fat, and that's the way it is, and you have no way out that door. So I say we can, if we do it right, train our mind to accept the veracity of our affirmations. So affirmations are statements chosen and spoken consciously. I consciously say something great's going to happen to me today. So as the day goes by, that doesn't mean necessarily something huge that I'm going to fall in love, I'm going to win the lottery, but it may be I got a parking spot, that everybody else was fighting for, or a policeman stopped the car in front of me and didn't pull me over today. But I look for something good to happen every single day, and so we program our subconscious mind to what we want. Affirmations that you create should be specific, not too long, worded positively, in complete sentences, and spoken in the present tense as if it's already accomplished. So I don't want you to say, I want to be thinner. So better than that is, I'm thin and getting thinner. You say it, I am, which is a positive statement, I am an affirmation, as if it already happened. I am happy, I am successful, I am brave, I am courageous, I'm decisive. So you can start off that way before you put them in full sentences. So, and it's a good idea to repeat your affirmations daily, like you said to the audience on the last group we went through, that you do it in your car and you do it when you first wake up. And sometimes when I get that 4 o'clock lag at the end of the day where people's energy goes down, I take myself away and I do a couple of quick affirmations. Today's been a good day. Let's end it the same way. We need some energy. And I talk to myself. So that's the title of my book. But I talk to myself. Talking to yourself is not crazy is the name of the book. But I talk to myself and I don't think I'm crazy. I'd rather talk to myself and build myself up in strong and noble thought before I let other people put me down. You can't see 100 patients a day. You can't make $50,000 more a year. You can't have a good relationship. You're too old. You're not smart enough. You don't have the information. Why do you want to listen to that stuff? So it's a good idea to repeat your affirmations daily and tell yourself that you deserve to be happy. But most importantly, Aixa, I tell myself that I am in control of my own destiny. So you may want to focus on an affirmation on a specific goal if you want, like people say, one of my grandchildren said this one time. I said to him, so what's your goal? What's your affirmation? Tell me about you. And my grandson, Brady, was 6 at the time. He says, people just like me. Isn't that a great thing?
I love that.
It just out of the mouths of babes, just it comes that, So all my kids write goals, all my grandchildren do write goals. And on the one of my who's now 15 and taller than I am, and and the other one is 19, ready to go off to Purdue this summer. But when they were girl, I went into that bathroom one time to use it, and in lipstick on their mirror, it said there was an affirmation, right? I am a princess, and everything I do works out well. How about that for a kid to write that and see that every day when they're putting on their makeup or doing their morning ablations? So it's a good idea to I am well liked. If you repeat it, your subconscious mind will pick up on these positive messages, and you begin to live your life as if you are affirming what you're affirming is already happening. So you're programming your mind. The object of affirmations is to program your mind by repetition. We call it RRR, repeat and review with regularity. So you could do a formal, I'm a healthy, vital, active, and successful human being. I affirm this day that all tissues and organs in my body are functioning perfectly, and that is the way it is supposed to be. Money is plentiful, in abundance, and unlimited supply. You could make up all these sentences, but they're always positive. Or you just can do it in bullet form, like I am good, I deserve to have this, I deserve that, and keep building yourself up. And here's the reason. Because even though you're in the world, and even if you're a positive person or someone that's successful in life, the rest of the world tries to keep you back, and you know that. So the minute your head sticks above the crowd, they're trying to get you back to me. You know, why you be, what do you, I walked into, recently, I walked into a lunch with people, and one of our friends came in to join us for lunch. There was 5 men there, and one of the guys at the table came in, and as this person approached, the last one to get there, he said, "What are you so happy about?" Why would you ask that instead of saying, "Wow, you seem to be happy. Tell us what's going on."
Right.
You know, it's just the way people think. So an affirmation is building yourself up, like I said, in strong and positive thoughts before people get to knock you down. But it's a programming. It's over and over and over. So if you were a baseball player, for instance, and you're standing at home plate and you looked out into the pitcher's mound and there was a Hall of Fame pitcher and you're just an average ball player and he said, "Okay, I'm going to throw a pitch," you're going to say, "Wow, that's Nolan Ryan. I don't have many chances. I don't think you're going to hit the ball." Now, on the other hand, you can get up and say, "That's Nolan Ryan. That's fun. Let's see if I can hit the ball," or "I'm going to hit the ball." And whether you do or not, it doesn't matter. It's the shift in attitude that increases your percentage of becoming successful. I'm not saying you're going to hit the ball. So I always like to look at the world is in a positive, affirmative day. Now, so right now, as we're recording, there's a lot of nonsense going on politically in the United States. There's these atrocious, horrific things that are happening around the world. And I don't want to not know about them because I'm not putting my head in the sand. But I know also that 6 months from now, we're going to be looking at something else. It's going to fade, and we're going to be looking at something else. So my belief system is that we will get through this. Somehow we're going to find a way. And remember, the top 20% of the people think, act, and are different than the 80%. The 80% feel that they're programmed. They have to don't bite off more than they can chew. A woman's place is in the home. Try that today in today's day and age. Men don't cry. Save for a rainy day. These are all ways that our parents years and years ago used to try and keep us safe, not sorry. I want to break the barrier, just like females want to break the glass ceiling, which should be done and is being done, because who said that we can't have a woman president? Who said I can't have a huge practice? Who said I can't have $1 million? Who said I can't have a lasting, long-lasting, really nurturing relationship with my spouse and a wonderful relationship with kids versus all the stories we say? Just life. So I'm not saying it's perfect. I am not selling Pollyanna, elixir here. That everything's going to be perfect. I'm saying it's not how you act, it's how you react in life that sets winners apart. So I use goaling, what do I want, and affirmations. And then on top of the affirmations, I always do the affirmation. I'm not going to do it in a subway train filled with screaming people, on a New Year's Eve. I'm not going to stand up and do an affirmation. So I always do it where it's a little quieter, where I can take a couple of deep breaths, where I can relax. So my mind is going to take in the information and focus. So if I'm saying I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm feeling better, success is coming to me, new business is flowing this way. If I'm saying that and I'm in a relaxed, not a typical meditative state, but just slowing the brain cycles so you can hear it, right? And then lastly, the part of goaling that I very rarely teach, I do, but maybe not as strong as I should, is once you have a goal, then you sit back in your chair and you close your eyes and you become a director of a movie. So here's a movie screen. So if you say, I want to have a new white Mercedes, right, a 2017 or whatever kind of car just came to my mind, right? Then I close my mind and I write, I want a 2017 Mercedes, I want it white, I want all the gizmos are in it and all the accessories, and I can picture, I know the model, I want the big expensive one that right now is out of my league, I want the 2-seater convertible with the top down, and here I am, and I close my eyes, I see me driving the car like in a commercial, coming by with, on the beach with the waves in the background of the trees, up in the mountain roads, that I visualized my affirmations as being true. So I visualize my goals, what I want as if I already happened. So if I want more money, I visualize, this is funny, the Brinks truck coming up in front of my office and loading the bags full of money. So that's a childhood ploy. Or is it better to say I don't have any money, and I never say I can't afford this, or I can't afford that? What I might say is I can't handle that at this moment, but someday I will. Different way of saying it. I know a lot of people saying, oh my God, don't give me these preaching speeches. I'm just programming myself not to think in a way that'll keep me where I don't want to be.
Right. Well, anybody who thinks something like this is silly, and sometimes I do hear that, you're just robbing yourself of the opportunity to have everything you ever wanted, and that's why you're stuck in the place that you've been stuck at for years. So I don't believe there's anything silly about this. The other
But
thing
you're a walking, talking, living example.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I also tell my patients and even people in my community when I go out and do speaking engagements is, listen, if you had a friend that spoke to you the way you talk to yourself with all that negative self-talk, would you still be friends with them? So you're your own worst enemy, and this is why you're not achieving what you want to achieve.
But that's true. So I have coached more than 30,000 people in my lifetime individually. I mean, we're talking about 40, 50 years now. And as I did it, I was growing as I was teaching. So now I have some of the answers, because I see if I teach you to do goals and 100 people do goals, and of the people that do it, 80% of the ones that do it are successful, and the 20% that don't do it or do it haphazardly are not successful, then I can actually stand on stage or talk to your group and say, well, goaling works because it's proven. Absolutely. So I'm not teaching you anything that's not proven. So I see all the marriages that are getting better, especially in this day and age, which is a good thing, or all the prosperity that's coming to people, or people that are sick. I have, sadly, my daughter-in-law is ill with cancer, BRCA2 breast cancer. But I watch her attitude. She's fighting this for 6 years. It is an uphill fight. And I was just with her this weekend, and you can't even tell. She has such an attitude, and I am convinced that that's why she's still here. She just participates. She doesn't feel sorry for herself. She doesn't roll up in a ball. Why me, God? She just said, I'm going to do the best. For whatever time I have left, I'm going to enjoy my life, take care of my kids, honor my husband, and blah, blah, blah. And here she is. It's amazing what you can do with your mind. Wow. And it starts with affirmations.
Yeah, absolutely. I always remember you saying it's your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. You remember saying that?
You know what? How about if I retire, you take over my whole... You're hired.
I love it.
You're so good.
I say that all the time to people. I'm like, I learned this from Dr. Lara. I'm telling you, go back and listen to all the podcasts. You come up so many times. It's just unbelievable. But yes, and as a matter of fact, the minute that I started doing, and obviously this was many years ago, a team affirmation every morning in my practice when I walked in with my team, they all have to memorize it, like we had to memorize it, right? And I remember standing in those chairs back many years ago and just all saying it with gusto, with gumption, with passion, right? And we do that in the office. And sometimes, patients come in a little bit earlier, what have you, but we still do our affirmations. We're not starting our day without doing that first. And it just really sets a tone and the intention to have a truly successful serving day.
You are so impressive. I should teach you the cabin experience. So when we retire, it goes on. We need a female person in here.
I'll come.
We have to talk about that.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Because what you're saying and the attitude with which you're saying it just aligns and vibrates with me that you've got it. And that's why I've watched you. I've had the pleasure of watching you grow. So people say to me, well, Larry, thank you for helping me be successful. I didn't do it. You did it. I tell other people the same thing. They do nothing, don't get results, and say, well, affirmations and goaling doesn't work. You use them and they work. So it's up to you. Good for you.
Absolutely.
I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. You truly have changed my life. And I'm sure I know many others, but I don't know that us as practitioners or you as a leader and a coach and just a personal transformation master really is what you are, get to hear it enough from the people that we actually touch and have an impact on.
Here's the goal. If I came from where I was that I started this segment with, when I was 29 years of age, and now I'm, the last remaining Mohican. But if I could change my life to go from sickness to health, unhappiness to happiness, bad relationships to good relationships, poverty to prosperity, whatever the opposites are, and I can build a life using the tools that we're talking about today, then so can every one of your listeners. They just have to decide to get in touch. This is not a diet that I'm going to go on a diet to wear a dress so I can go to a wedding and people see me 10 pounds thinner, and then when I get to the wedding, I'll go to the smorgasbord and start stuffing my face again. That's not this. This is a way of life.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Dr. Larry, thank you so much for being here and telling us about affirmations. Can you tell the audience again what's the R, review?
Review and repeat with regularity.
Review and repeat with regularity. That is the key to affirmations, folks. You need to do your affirmations and set your goals so that you can achieve everything that you want to achieve. Dr. Larry, you have a phenomenal book called Talking to Yourself is Not Crazy. They can pick that up at Amazon or on your website. Can you give that to us again?
Right. thecabotexperience.com, and in that book there are 3 already made affirmations, and you can pick one you like or alter to write your own, but there's affirmations in the book and there's a whole chapter on it, and you'll love it.
Great. And also at thecabotexperience.com they can see your upcoming dates for the Cabin Experience, correct?
Yes, they can.
Truly transformational experience, folks. I did this several years ago, and I know you have a Cabin Experience number 2, which hopefully I can be a part of as well.
No more. We just because people are getting confused 1 and 2. Okay. Now it's just the Cabin Experience, and I merged the best of both of them.
Oh, awesome. Perfect. So we're going to have to talk about that so I can come up there.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Thank
you,
Dr.
For having
any
me.
last words you want to share? Any just words of wisdom? I mean, I know obviously you shared a lot, but anything else you want to close out with?
Well, yes, I do. So if those of you, your audience that are listening or watching it on YouTube, take a look of the woman sitting in front of you, and I can attest to the fact that some years ago she was always bright, she was always pretty, she was always nice, but now she's got the big idea, and the big idea is that you can create greatness in your life if you're willing to pay the price, and the only price is change your mind and spend the time to recreate the habits that work more positively for you in your own life.
Definitely. Thank you, Dr. Larry Markson.
Thank
you for being my friend, my coach, my mentor, and truly transforming thousands of lives.
Thank you, sweetheart.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Thanks for listening. This is Manifest Your Epic Life with Dr. Aixa Goodrich.
Need more?
Visit manifestyourepiclife.com for blog posts, previous episodes, podcasts, and more. Now, go have an epic day.